Welcome to Annapolis Mosaics. Our program spotlights people in our community who are involved in activities intended to promote good human relations. I am Michael Keller, the chair of the Annapolis Human Relations Commission and your host. The commission is a city board that promotes equal opportunity and seeks to eliminate discrimination. I'm very pleased today to have as our guest Leslie Suarez. Leslie is the creator of an innovative program, Image of Our Future, designed to bridge, it's an environmental approach to bridge the achievement gap. Leslie, welcome to Annapolis Mosaics.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me here.
Well, let's start by talking about the achievement gap. What do you mean by the use of the phrase achievement gap?
Well, the achievement gap, in a nutshell, basically is it's a problem in our entire country. It's a big problem, and a problem here in Anne Arundel. And the achievement gap is basically there's this gap between the achievement of white children and African American children and Latino children. And the gap is the level of achievement that they are reaching academically. So the goal of Anne Arundel County Schools and all schools in our country is to narrow that gap, but not by bringing the expectations down for students, but to bring expectations up and to bring those that aren't really succeeding, elevate their achievement. And there are so many, there is not one way to bridge the achievement gap. There are so many factors involved with creating the achievement gap, so there will be a lot of ways to help bridge it. And this program, Image of Our Future, is basically one way that we can help tweak the educational system a little, add to it to help bridge that gap.
Okay. Well, could you tell our viewers about the Image of Our Future project?
Well, it came about during my experiences with Neighborhood Leadership Academy through Leadership Anne Arundel. And during that time, it was being led by Patrick Lee, and he was our instructor at the time. And it was a class of a group of women who were community service providers in the area and wanted to make a positive change in our neighborhoods. And I, being new to Annapolis, I'm originally from Connecticut, and I moved here about 3 years ago. I fell in love with Annapolis, and I knew that this is where I wanted to kind of just settle down. And Leadership Anne Arundel helped me kind of find my niche and, find a place where I can grow and at the same time contribute to the community. And during my experiences with Neighborhood Leadership Academy, one of our assignments was to create a program. Well, first identify a problem in the community and then create a program that would solve that problem. So I partnered up with Carolyn Keene, a very active lady in the community, and she and I created Images of Our Future. And what it is basically is growing up, going to school, I would sit in my science class, and in front of me would be this ginormous image of Albert Einstein. And it would be Albert Einstein in every single classroom I had in science and math growing up, from elementary to middle school to high school and beyond. And so now when I think about science or math, I think Albert Einstein. He was like the first person that pops into my head, but never Ellen Ochoa, who was like the first Latina astronaut, or Mae Jemison, who was the first African American female astronaut. And I thought, well, in today's classrooms, not much has changed. We see a lot of images in the classroom, posters of pioneers in the specific subjects like math, social studies, language arts, and rarely are they people who physically look like the children that we are aiming to inspire. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have images of people who have made a contribution to our world, our country, that look like these children that we're teaching and we're trying to encourage and inspire. So, and not just during African American History Month, and not just during Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm thinking throughout the whole school year, from the first day of school to the last day of school, there are pictures in these classrooms that kids can identify with. And pictures in the classroom of people who have made contributions to our world in great ways. And these are images that kids can see themselves through. And hopefully these images will be a window to a future for these kids, so that we're not just raising children that are striving to be ball players or hip-hop artists. Though, you know, I'm not knocking those goals. Those are great goals, but there's just so much more to life, and there's so many other things that kids can do. And we need to tell them, because I really believe through my experience with working with children and teaching and counseling, kids become what we tell them they will be, you know, and I know that personally from experience when my mentors and my teachers would say, you're going to be this, you're going to be a teacher someday, you know, you're going to do these things, and these are ideas that were put into my mind. So images of our future is basically that, putting pictures in the classrooms, first day of school to the last day of school, not just during the specific holidays, recognizing those cultures.
And these are big posters too that
They are big posters, yeah. They are. They're supposed to be kind of intrusive in a way, a silent presence, just images that kids will see and identify with and connect to these specific subjects like math and science, social studies, language arts.
Right. And you'll be looking at people who are culturally diverse pioneers in their fields, role models for the children to look up to.
Role models, true role models. And I think that right now, I mean, we all know, it's not a secret that images are powerful. Images affect us. The advertising companies know this. They use images all the time to get us to buy their products. And you know, it's something that's known, and even gang members use YouTube videos to lure possible new gang members. I mean, it's no secret, so why not use it in our classroom every day? And like right now, we have role models like Nicki Minaj, who is a very popular hip-hop artist. And unfortunately, she's more popular with children because of her kind of bubblegum personality, and the way she dresses with these pink, bright colors really draws the attention of children. But her lyrics are very, very inappropriate, and they preach terrible things that even though children might not understand them as what they really are, it feeds their subconscious, and our behavior comes from that part of our brain. So it's something that we need to take note of and be conscious of, and try to, you know, not go against Nicki Minaj. She's trying to do her thing and, you know, be successful, but provide images that will counter what children see in Nicki Minaj.
Could you give some examples of some of the individuals who will be featured on these posters? You had mentioned that it's going to cover a variety of the different core subjects that the children are taking in school.
Yes.
But what individuals are actually going to be featured?
Well,
just some examples.
Okay. Well, I know growing up for me, my parents talked a lot about the leaders in our culture, whether they were bad leaders like Fidel Castro that would just make my father go in this rage just talking about him, or Cesar Chavez, who was a Mexican-American civil rights activist. And we grew up knowing these names and knowing that they were people from our culture. I'm Mexican and Cuban heritage, and it was good for me to know that Cesar Chavez, a Mexican American like myself, could lead a group towards something great. And so Cesar Chavez might be an example of image we might put up in the social studies classroom. Or Shirley Chisholm, who actually ran for president of the United States, an African-American woman. I never knew about her, and how great would it be for a young black girl in her social studies classroom to see this woman and know she ran for president of the United States long time, way before our president, Barack Obama, even thought about it.
Yeah, she actually was the first African-American woman to be nominated for president.
Yes.
It was a 1972 Democratic Convention.
Yes, so she would be a great example.
Yeah.
Ellen Ochoa, it was the first female Hispanic astronaut, so she would be an example of an image that we would put in the classroom. So we have so many, even our own Ben Carson of Johns Hopkins Hospital, you know, a neurosurgeon. Wouldn't it be great to see his image for a young black boy to see, not just, you know, those NBA stars or the rap stars that they see all the time, constantly thrown in their face through media. Why not Ben Carson, who has done amazing things in medicine? We need boys to see those images and to see, I could do that maybe, you know, if I tried.
Okay. We're going to take a break right now, but when I return, we'll be talking with Leslie about some of the other aspects of the Images of Our Future project.
Hi, my name is Curry McKinney. I host a show called Reaching Out. Reaching Out deals with issues and concerns that affect the everyday citizens of Annapolis. We would like for you to call us or send us some information that you think is important for other residents to hear. Please call us at 410-280-1462 or email me at kjmckinney@annapolis.gov. Again, my phone number is 410-280-1462 or my email address is kjmckinney@annapolis.gov. Please get involved. It is important. Thank you.
We're talking today with Leslie Suarez, who is the creator of an innovative program called Images of Our Future, an environmental approach to bridging the achievement gap. Leslie, how do you envision that your project is going to benefit students, but also teachers in the schools and members of the community as well?
That's a good question, Mike.
In other words, in short, what do you see as the ultimate outcome of your project? What do you want it to accomplish?
That's a very good question, Mike, because we live in a world where we want numbers. We want to know that our efforts are going to produce this amount of whatever. And it's kind of hard to measure confidence. It's hard to measure a child, whether or not a picture is going to help little Susie become the astronaut or a doctor. But there are studies that prove that images do have an impact on us. And what I hope that the Images of Our Future project will do is open up this window of opportunity for kids, create a world for them that they never imagined. Make children ask questions. I want them to ask their teachers, who is that man? In his head, he's thinking, he looks like my Uncle Pepe, you know, like they identify with the Cesar Chavez, you know, because he looks like a family member. Cesar Chavez looks like one of my uncles. And I want children to ask, who are these people and why does my teacher consider this person important, so important that they would put their picture up in the classroom and leave it there from the first day of school to the last day of school. And I believe that these images will create a welcoming environment, will in a way tell kids, I see you, I recognize you, and I see you who you are and who you can become. And I want these images to bring confidence and empower kids. I want them to feel like this is their school because it embraces their culture, their image. I want them to feel comfortable and knowing that their culture is respected and recognized and revered. And I want them to feel like there's so much that they can do in this world. So Images of Our Future, the program is basically, it's a simple program. You're just putting up posters up in the wall and you're leaving them there. But for kids, I want them to see more than what they see every day in the mainstream media. So ultimately, when a child feels confident, when he feels comfortable in school and welcomed, he's going to be more attentive. He's going to be pay more attention. I really believe that, and I believe that when they feel valued, it's going to come out in their performance. And when children are confident, they're going to perform better in school. And if they're performing better in school, their grades are going higher. And then we can continue to increase the expectations. And for teachers, I think this program is great because it not only does it create a culturally sensitive environment, but more like a culturally competent environment. We will create more culturally competent teachers who not just understand the culture and recognize the culture, but use it as a tool to increase kids' performance in the classroom. And of course, when parents come into the school, a lot of our parents, especially Latino parents, have this belief that the school is just like this untouchable, powerful, mega place that they are not welcome to come into. It's not something that they can question or, there isn't a lot of comfort. And I think that if they walk into a classroom and see images of people that look like them, it'll be also a great welcoming for parents. So I think that overall, just the power of these images can do a lot for the children, the teachers, and their families.
What are your plans and timetable for implementing the project, Leslie?
I would love to have this project up and running at least one school by this September.
Okay.
I would love to have at least a 6th grade, a middle school, having these images in their classrooms in all of their core subjects, including visual arts and performing arts classes. I think it's important to have these images in those classes as well. They're all very powerful and enriching and important subjects for children. I would love to see these images in the 6th grade classrooms by this September. Just to do it, just to see what will happen, how children will react to it, what kinds of responses or reactions we'll see from that. Because right now it doesn't exist. And I know schools make an effort because during my years in the school system, I've taught for 18 years now Spanish and worked as a translator at one time for the Anne Arundel County schools. I saw that schools do make an effort, but we're kind of missing the mark. I noticed that in February, one classroom door was adorned with these beautiful images of African American figures, and this was in February, celebrating African American History Month. But then March came along, and that whole door was completely bare. Those pictures were taken down. And I thought, well, what a disservice. And what message are we really giving? Is that, okay, we'll celebrate your culture this month, but it's not really important for the rest of the school year. And I know we're not trying to tell children that, but that's really a message that we're conveying by doing that. And I think that having these images on the first day of school all the way through to the last day of school will be very powerful. And I would love to see that by September.
What kind of support are you getting for the project?
Oh, well, I'm getting a lot of support,
Good.
especially from the leadership Anne Arundel,
Okay.
who very much believes in this program. They're very excited about it. I have a lot of mentors and just people who are not just believe in this great program, but believe in me, and which is important for me so that I can feel the confidence to follow through with it and bring it into fruition. Also, great organizations. I'm always picking the brains of the masterminds of great programs like Art Walks or Balanced Life Skills of Annapolis. These are all organizations that are doing great things in the community. And I'm getting a lot of support as far as financial support and ideas and resources. And it's just been a really great experience so far.
Yeah, what kinds of costs are involved with this, and who are you getting financial support from, if anyone?
Well, Balanced Life Skills of Annapolis has pledged to give financial support. But also, and that is for the purchase of the printing of the images, because originally we thought about just getting these images from different sources, whether it's internet or books, whatever, but I knew that we would have to deal with copyright issues, things like that. And then as I was talking with other leaders in the community, Chuck from Art Walks thought, well, how great would it be to integrate the arts, because he's very art-minded and passionate about art, integrate arts into this program. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could have community artists paint these images and then we can print them out and then put them in a classroom. So not only are we putting these images of these individuals in a classroom, but putting them up in an artistic fashion. So that way we're integrating art into all the classrooms. And so we are, right now I'm currently looking for community artists who would like to get involved in that project.
Okay.
So, you know, it's kind of evolving, you know, I think with all of these minds coming together.
Is the identification of community activists for the program, is that the single thing that you need the most? Are there other things that you could use to assist your moving this project forward?
Well, Anne Arundel County Public Schools is my target.
Okay.
I live right here in the heart of Annapolis. I love this town. I have a niece and 2 nephews that are currently students in Anne Arundel County schools. So I am a stakeholder here, and I'm a stakeholder with the school systems, and I really believe that Anne Arundel County Schools has a whole lot of professionals, people who are just perfect in their craft, who can help me implement this. And I am hoping that I can grab their attention and get their support. And I'm talking about historians, and I'm talking about people who can come up with a study, some type of way to measure the outcome of this program. Anne Arundel County Public Schools is filled with great minds, and I'm just hoping that I can reach out to those individuals, because it's really about getting the right people on this team to really make it happen, because it needs to be done well.
What aspect of the program gives you the greatest amount of satisfaction?
There are so many. I think as a former teacher, I know that I always told myself every day that I'm making a difference in these kids' lives. But there were like 30 kids in my classroom, you know, and I can reach them in that 1 hour spot that I had them, and I can do whatever I can to reach them. And then the next group of kids comes, and I want to reach them too, and I just want to reach as many kids as possible. But with this program, I think that we can really reach kids in a deep, a profound way. in just such a larger scale. And I think that's what I like the most about the potential of this program, is that it can do that. And if we did something as simple as put up a poster in a classroom and keep it there from September to June, in every classroom in Anne Arundel and every classroom in Maryland, that would just be amazing. In every classroom in our country. That, to me, is what is the most exciting part for me. It's just the potential to reach so many children in a profound way.
Right. I am certain that many of our viewers are going to want to be in touch with you and help your project, Leslie. How can they reach you?
Well, we have an email. They can reach me via email. Email address is imagesofourfuture@gmail.com. That's imagesofourfuture@gmail.com. And I also have a phone number that I just got for them.
Okay.
And it's 202-280-7959.
Could you repeat that, please?
Sure. It's 202-280-7959.
Thank you for viewing our program today, and please join us again on Annapolis Mosaics. If you would like to have more information about the Annapolis Human Relations Commission, just jot down the number on your screen. You can reach us at 410-263-7998 or by email at hrcommission@annapolis.gov. Or you can check out our page at the City of Annapolis website. Go to www.annapolis.gov, click on the Boards and Commissions icon, and then you can scroll down to the Human Relations Commission page. And always remember the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, "We have flown the air like birds and swum the seas like fishes, but have yet to learn the simple act of walking the earth as brothers and sisters." Thank you, Leslie. Very good.
Thank you, Mike.
You did a great job.
Thank you.